So, good day, Doc Omar. I'm Michipuman Abrea, and today I'm going to discuss about PID control of a pressure measurement and control system. So, what is PID? PID stands for Proportional Integral Derivative, the most widely used closed-loop feedback control system in engineering and automation. It continuously compares a measured process value, like pressure, against a desired set point, calculates the error, and combines the three corrective actions: proportional immediate response, integral elimination of lingering error, and derivative stabilization against rapid swings. Together, these deliver fast, precise, and smooth regulation, making PID a standard reliable tool for controlling pressure, temperature, speed, flow, and countless other industrial processes. So next is system architecture and mathematical foundation. So here we have a diagram. Um, in this motor and pump will supply in a hydraulic pump mula dito sa oil tank, while the relief valve will control the pressure. Then, nagtatrabaho ito bilang closed-loop system. Then, the PID controller will compute the error sa pamamagitan ng target position at ng actual cylinder displacement na nanggagaling sa position sensor, which is here. Sa position sensor, based dito, nagpapadala ito ng signal sa main and sa auxiliary valve para i-adjust yung fluid pressure na siya yung nagpapagalaw sa load mass na nagpapabilis at precise. So next, I will be discussing the closed loop pressure architecture. So control loop anatomy. In a standard pressure control process variable PB system, a feedback loop compares vessel pressure against a target set point. So, in a standard pressure control system, may ginagamit tayong feedback loop continuously compare the actual vessel pressure or our process variable against the target set point denoted as RT. The error signal, so pag may difference between the set point, the actual pressure, na nag-generate ito ng signal error signal as shown in the formula here. Then, itong error signal nito is yung the-drive sa controller output QT para mag-adjust sa ating control valves or variable speed pumps through this process na nami-maintain natin ng exact target ng vessel. So, next is we have a standard PID control law. The time domain and control signal combines proportional, integral, and derivative terms to calculate the actuator. Dito pinapakita how our control signal is calculated in the time domain para ma-determine ang kailangan ng actuator effort. So binubuo ito ng tatlong main terms, so which is the proportional, integral, and the derivative. So we have a formula here. The first is proportional term. Proportional term, which is here, siya yung nag-a-adjust dynamic-wise based directly sa current error. So, the second integral term, which is here, ito naman yung nag-iipon ng mga past errors through time para eliminate ang steady state error. So, for the lastly, is the derivative term here. So, the derivative term, siya yung pinipredict nito yung future error base sa rate of change para mas maging stable at mabilis yung response ng system. In short, if we will combine all of these, it will be present, past, at future behavior ng error signals to deliver the right control action. So now we're going to moving on to pressure sensor accuracy matrix. So yung pressure transmitter is nag-convert ng physical force into electrical signal. Katulad nito, the example is 4 to 20 milliampere or 0.10 voltage accuracy degradation. So, nagagawang baka madumi or polluted yung ating error term dahil sa tatlong pangunahing dahilan. So, the three reason is one is signal noise. The signal noise is ang high frequency electrical noise at mababang AD resolution ay nagdudulot ng mabilis at erratic spike sa ating error calculation. So, next naman is yung hysteresis and nonlinearity. So, dito is nagkakaroon nga ng pagkakaiba-iba sa sensor output depende kung tumaas or bumaba ang vessel pressure kaya nababawasan ang overall precision nito. So, next is thermal drift and span error. So, dahil sa pagbabago-bago ng temperature, nagkakaroon ng zero shift offset. So, that's why nafu-full nito ang controller to aim for full steady states. So, dito naman sa kanan is makikita natin yung standard 2-wire at 3-wire wiring kung paano ito kinoconnect ang pressure sensor sa ating instrument and power supply. So, we have a 2-wire current output wiring diagram. So, dito shared line yung power at signal. Yung red wire or pin 1, ito yung nakakonect sa positive terminal ng 24 VDC power supply. Then, the green naman or pin 2, dito naman yung napupunta yung input ng ating measurement instrument wire. Tapos sa green wire, napupunta yung ating measurement. Tapos ibabalik din to sa ground o negative terminal ng power supply para mabuo yung current loop. So, for the 3-wire naman is yung ating mga hiwalay yung linya ng power at signal voltage dito. So, yung reds, yung pin 1, dito yung para pa rin siya, nakakonect pa rin siya dito sa positive VDC 24 or power supply. Then yung green, eto, siya yung magsisilbing common ground, tapos nakakonect siya sa negative. At ang yellow wire naman is, yun yung nagpapadala ng analog voltage signal papunta dito sa instrument. So, in short, the 2-wire system current signal plus the supply of power while the 3-wire system, siya yung naghiwalay ng dedicated wire for the voltage measurement output. So, next we have a impact sensor noise and PID action. So, we have a proportional, integral, and derivative. So, for the proportional, noise in the process measurement creates artificial control output ripple, high gains, KP multiply measurement ripple, inducing physical control, valve chatter, and premature wear. So, dito is the controller keeps reacting to false pressure jumps, forcing the valve to rapidly open, close, and which wear it out quickly. So, for the integral, persistent 0-point sensor bias or uncalibrated offset causes the integral term to continually accumulate error, resulting in set point overshoot and slow convergence. So, in simple terms, because the sensor has constant reading error, the integral term think the pressure is never quite right, so it keeps overacting past the target level. So lastly is the derivative term. Calculates d over dt high frequency sensor noise, produce massive numerical slope spikes causing violent actuator handling and system instability. So the derivative terms react heavily to sharp changes. Even the tiny spike of electrical noise look like a massive sudden pressure jump to the controlling, causing the system to panic and jerk uncontrollably. So next is the derivative noise and latency. So as you can see here sa right side, we have a diagram ulit. Then set point and comparator, dito nagsisimula yung target value sa set point. Iko-compare naman ng comparator sa totoong nararamdaman or what we feel ng sensor, yun yung feedback para makuha natin yung error signal. So for the PID controller and actuator, yung controller yung magpa-process ng error batay sa PID actions para magpadala ng control output sa actuator tulad ng valve o pump. Then the plant and sensor, aayusin ng actuator yung plant, vessel or pressure, then kakapitan naman ng sensor para ibalik siya sa comparator bilang sensor output or feedback. So, paano nga ba nagkakaproblema yung noise and latency impact? So, the derivative kick and filtering need. In highly fast-acting compressible fluid loops, high derivative gain KD amplifies measurement noise and exponentially without filtering control signal saturated actuators. So, kapag may tinatawag tayong high frequency noise, ang sensor output na ina-amplify ito ng sobra ng derivative term. So, the result is nagpapadala yung controller na sobrang galaw sa signal na nagsasaturate sa actuator. And sa delay naman, sensor response delay time constant creates phase lag in feedback, degrading phase margin, and triggering low frequency limit cycle oscillation. So, kapag babagal sumagot yung sensor, or late na nakabalik yung feedback sa comparator, dahil huli yung controller, nag-overcompensate ito kaya nagkakaroon ng paulit-ulit ng pagtaas or pagbaba ng oscillation. So, next is system leakage and mass flow loss. Leakage as a pressure disturbance. Dito naman sa leakage as a pressure disturbance, pinapakita dito kung paano naapektuhan ng singaw o leak yung ating system. Orifice flow modeling. Sa orifice flow modeling, yung leakage rate nito is ating pneumatic o hydraulic vessel ay hindi steady. So ito yung nonlinear batay dun sa orifice flow equation. So we have a formula here. Q leak is equal to CD times A times. So, system effect. Yung system effect, habang tumataas yung pressure, mas mabilis at mas maraming fluid yung tumatakas. So, hindi constant yung leak kapag pinersa mo yung O at tinasan ng pressure sa loob ng vessel. Mas lalong lalakas ang singaw, nagiging state-dependent load disturbance ito na nagpapatuloy ng pagbabago sa behavior at times constant ng ating controller compose. So, next is integral wind-up and steady-state error. Dito ay pinapaliwanag kung paano nga naapektuhan ng leakage ang iba't ibang control modes. So, how leakage affect control modes? First is steady-state offset. So, sa proportional only controller, hindi ito kayang i-maintain ng eksakto ang set point. Kapag may leak, kailangan kasi ng constant error para manatiling nakakabit or nakabukas ang valve para matapatan ang balance Q-leak. So, in simple terms, hindi maabot ng P-control lang ang target pressure kapag may leak dahil kailangan nga ng permanenteng maliit na error para mapanatili nating nakabukas yung supply. So, next is integral saturating effort. For the integral saturating effort, kapag mas mabilis lumabas yung hangin or tubig kaysa sa kayang i-pump, mas mag-accumulate ang integral error hanggang sa mag-saturate or mabulunan yung controller. So, the asymmetric dynamic response, mas matagal at mahirap magpataas ng pressure pero napakamabilis namang bumagsak kapag nagpapababa. Kasi mas mabagal mag-pressurize ang system Dahil kailangan ngang bawasan ng leak rate ang pump flow, pero mas mabilis naman itong mag-depressurize dahil nakakatulong pa ang leak sa pagkawala ng pressure. So as you can see here, we have a tank sa right side. In a galvanized hydropneumatic tank, ito ay isang conventional o plain steel tank. Walang physical barrier to o hiwalay ng lagayan sa loob sa pagitan ng tubig, ng hangin at compressed air. So yung effect naman nito dahil nga nagdikit-dikit yung air and water, mas madaling ma-dissolve ng hangin sa tubig over time. Kailangan nito ng air volume control or AVC para magpakawala o madagdagan ng hangin kapag nagiging waterlogged ang tank. So dito naman sa pre-charge captivate air tanks, makikita nyo dito sa bladder, aka bag type tank, may hiwalay na flexible rubber bag o bladder sa loob kung saan nandun ang tubig. Habang nagko-compress yung air sa paligid nito. And the diaphragm type naman, may rubber diaphragm na nagsisilbing permanenteng harang o pader sa pagitan ng air chamber at tsaka water chamber. So, ang effect nito is dahil nga na-isolate at hindi nagdidikit-dikit ang hangin sa tubig, walang mass loss o pagkawala ng air pressure sa pamamagitan ng dissolution, mas stable ang pre-charge kaysa mas stable ang pre-charge pressure at hindi na kailangan ng ABC. So, next is system settling time comparison. So, makikita nyo dito is kung gaano kabagal mag-stabilize ang ating pressure depende nga sa kung anong condition ng system. So, ideal system, high accuracy, no leak. So, this means is ito yung benchmark nating mabilis and efficient with only 1.2 settling time. So, next is high sensor noise. Yung high sensor noise naman is tumataas ito ng 3.4 seconds high chatter dahil nagre-react ang controller sa force spike ng signal. And next is 5% system leakage. Mas humahaba sa 4.8 seconds yung delayed rise dahil pinupull down ng leak ang pressure habang naghahangin ang system. Next is combined noise and leakage. Worst case scenario na umabot sa 7.2 seconds oscillatory dahil nagsasama ang instability mula sa noise at continuous disturbance mula sa leak. So, in short explanation, sa ideal, kapag walang leak, mas malinis ang sensor. Halos instantly na na-achieve at nasa-settle agad yung target pressure. And sa high sensor naman is, dahil maingay nga yung signal, paiba-iba gawa ng valve, kaya mas matagal bago makuha ang tamang steady state. Sa 5% naman is, kasi nagda-drop ang pressure dahil sa leak, mas matagal ma-pressurize at maabot ang set point. And for the combined noise, nag-aaway kasi yung controller at ang leak habang nalilito sa noise kaya sobra yung pag-iindayog at tagal bago kumalma yung system. So, dito sa comparative and factor analysis, dito ay sinasummarize natin yung mga problem system kung aling PID term ang apektado at physical effect nito. At ang solution ng engineering mitigation is high sensor. In simple terms, kapag maingay nga, nawawala ang valve at nagre-resolve ito sa paglagay ng signal filter. So, in the sensor naman is, kapag nawala dito yung calibrate, ang sensor, mali yung nakukuha ang presyon at nagre-resolve ito sa recalibrate. So, for the minor system, Kapag may konting leak, nagkakaroon ng konting error, nagreresolba sa katamtamang patas ng integral grain. So for the major system naman is kapag malakas ang leak na nasobrahan at mabulunan ng controller, nagreresolba ito sa paglagay ng anti-wind up and feed forward logic. And for the last slide, makikita dito yung implementation roadmap. Para sa maayos na pressure control, nagsisimula ito sa hardware selection. So kung saan pumipili tayo ng high precision sensor para malinis ang accurate agad ang reading sa simula pa lang. So kasunod nito yung noise filtering kung saan naglalagay tayo ng digital RC low pass filter para matanggal ang electrical noise at hindi magwala ang valves. So next is a leakage model. Nagsasagawa tayo ng step response test para masukat kung gaano nga kalakas ang leak sa iba't ibang presyon at huli is ginagamit natin yung advanced turning. Sa advanced turning is gamit dito ang PID na may anti-wind up at feed forward convention para mas mabilis na ma-correct ang link na hindi nabubulunan o nasosobrahan sa controller. So that's all. Thank you.